Welcome to Review Nation! No, it's not Review Nation anymore, is it? It's Jamie. Alright. What is happening, guys? My name is Jamie. Today, it is the best metal albums of September. September has been a solid month for metal. It really has, and there has been some amazing albums. I don't care what anyone says. You can write in the comments saying, "Oh, it hasn't been an amazing month. You're just over exaggerating." Well, you know what? Go stick a breadstick up your ass because this is a great fucking month for metal. So first of all, what we're going to do is let's go to honourable mentions. And first honourable mention is Skeletal Remains and the album The Entombment of Chaos. I really enjoyed this album. Was going to put it in my top 10, but I just feel there are other better albums than this album. This album was released earlier this month. It has to be in honourable mentions just because of how good this album is. It's very technical and at times it's quite proggy as well, but I just absolutely love the drumming, love the production. Next up is Nasty Menace. This is the album that I was expected to hate, but I absolutely really enjoyed it. It's Breakdown City. To me, it was like if Limp Bizkit was extremely fucking heavy, except this album is actually pretty good. I just really love the elements of surprise on this album. Some really killer songs as well. Next up is Tomorrow's Rain Hollow. This album is absolutely fantastic. The reason why it's an honorable mentions is because that some of this album doesn't really flow that well, and the vocals are a hit or miss, but still it's a fantastic fucking album. There's one of the best guitar solos of the year on this album, and it's an absolute fucking banger. Next up is Carnation, Where Death Lies. Got that blackened tinge, but it is death metal. It's a lot slower than Skeletal Remains, but damn, it packs a punch. I do love the elements of surprise, love how dark this album feels, and overall it's a really awesome album, so go check that out. Okay, we got that out of the way. Let's go to the top 10 metal albums of September. First of all is Ohms by Deftones. It's a really good album, one of Deftones' best albums. I really enjoy some of these songs like Genesis, Ceremony, and Era just reminds me of something out of Korn, that new metal-y feel. Chita's vocals are really good on this album as well. I do love the sort of gritty tone on his voice throughout this album. A lot of people are shitting on his vocals and production, but overall, this is one of the best Deftones albums. In the discography, I really did enjoy it. If I had to rank Ohms, I'd probably put it up to third, way above White Pony, that's for sure. And I really do enjoy some of these songs. My favorite song off the album would be probably Pompeii, just because how different this song is. Jesus Christ! China's vocals are really good on this, and not to mention that beautiful eerie synth. And the conclusion, this album is really good. I think I've given it an 8 out of 10. Didn't like Deftones, but I did check them out, checked out the whole discography, had an open mind, and yeah, this is one of their best albums. So, at number 9 is Kataklysm and the album Uncensored. This album dropped this week, and you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. This is a melodic death metal album with so many different changes. Like, the kill shot is very genty, it's got a really nice style rhythm throughout this album, and this album does flow very well. This is a very fun album. I love the vocals, love his grittiness, and Icarus Falling is one of my favorite songs off the album. I had to put this in my top 10 just because of the fun factor. It's a fun fucking album, and if you don't like fun, then what are you doing? Go check out Kataklysm. So coming in at number 8 is Jupiterian and the album Protosapien. This album really took me by surprise. Now, you can imagine it's sludgy, it's doomy. Some absolutely incredible songs like Me Human, Starless, and Earthling Bloodline. I just really love the progression throughout this album as well. The atmosphere is like crushing, it crushes your fucking head in. I just love the atmosphere. The atmosphere is just crushing, like those riffs on this album. The vocals are intense as anything, really enjoy his growls, and it's just a really good flowing album as well. Stretching around about 36 minutes. Would have liked to have a few more songs on this album. It lifted up the album in the ranking of September, but overall this is a killer album by this band Jupiterian. I believe this is their sophomore album as well. I was pleasantly surprised. So if you haven't checked out Jupiterian Protosapien, go check it out now. Take a listen. Okay, so this might be a little bit controversial, but people will say, ugh, it's not metal. It's Marilyn Manson, We Are Chaos. Although this may not be metal, there are elements of metal, so I'm putting this in the best metal albums of September. So if you don't like it, there's the door. You can fuck off right now. Marilyn Manson deserves to be on this top 10 list just because it's an absolute brilliant album. There are elements of metal like Red, Black and Blue where he incorporates some screams throughout. This album is quite soft. It's something very different by Marilyn Manson. I just love how atmospheric this album feels, at times shoegazy, especially through the song Paint You With My Love. You can tell he's been inspired by David Bowie and even Elvis Presley, you could say, with some songs. But damn, this album is an absolute classic album by Marilyn Manson, one of his modern day classics. This is his best album probably since Mechanical Animals. Up there, yeah. This is an absolutely brilliant album. If you haven't checked out Marilyn Manson, We Are Chaos, you should definitely check it out. This is a must-hear album for 2020 if you like Marilyn Manson. If you didn't like Heaven Upside Down, you might love this. You might like this. This may be an easy listening experience. He incorporates so many different elements. It's not just metal, it's rock, and also it's southern. Overall, this is a really cool album and it deserves to be on the list. So coming up next is Napalm Death, Throes of Joy in the Jaws of Defeatism. This album is absolutely magnificent. This is one of Napalm Death's best albums. They incorporate elements of grindcore, they incorporate elements of black metal, especially through the song Fuck the Factoid, The Curse of Being in Thrall. Some really awesome songs. I just love how free-flowing this album is, and Barney's vocals on this album, wow, he sounds as good as ever on this album. Barney's vocals are insane. This album reminds me of something out of like Utilitarian, and I just feel that Utilitarian, it might be a little bit better than Throes of Joy in the Jaws of Defeatism, but damn, Napalm Death releases an album in 2020 where the world is in chaos. Perfect timing for Napalm Death. The lyrics are strong. I absolutely love some of these songs like Contagion, Invigorating Clutch, even the experimental songs like A Belly Full of Salt and Spleen. Oh, great album. So coming in at number 5 is Phison Distance, and the album echoes from Deep November. This is a death doom album, you could say, a melodic death doom album. So it incorporates elements of melodic death metal along with doom metal. I tell you what, this album is something very special. The lyrics, on the other hand, are okay. They're okay, the lyrics, but it doesn't matter. The lyrics sonically, this album sounds absolutely fantastic. A lot of synthesizers on this album, but damn, it just creates this massive production. Really enjoyed The Climb. Elusive Light. Elusive Light is one of the catchiest songs off the album. The Lock and the Key. So many great songs. The end of the album is that instrumental Sundial. Atmosphere is massive, it's quite epic, it's an epic album. So coming out at number 4 is Uada and the album Djinn. Holy shit, I couldn't believe they released another album, Uada. I was absolutely surprised, and yeah, I was really surprised that they released a new album, because Cult of the Dying Sun is one of my favorite black metal albums of all time. I absolutely adore that album, and for them to release another album called Djinn, wow, I was so damn impressed, and especially on this album. You know what, I might do an album review for this album, but I probably will do an album review for another album that will be mentioned above. But Djinn is fantastic. It's quite proggy, melodic black metal. I love the high shrieks. He incorporates growls, he incorporates deep growls as well. But not only that, they incorporate death doom elements. They incorporate doomy elements on this album. The atmosphere is fantastic. Everything sounds so damn clean. It's well balanced. This is one of the best metal albums of September. It's fantastic. It's black metal. It's black metal simple but straight to the point. Some really awesome songs, some long songs as well. Love Forestless. Between the Two Worlds is a great song. Not my favorite Uada album. The Void, the Light and Cult of the Dying Sun are, in my opinion, just slightly better than Djinn, but damn, it's a solid release by Uada. Very impressed with this album. Okay, so coming in at number 3 is Oceans of Slumber, self-titled. Absolutely fantastic. Love Kami's vocals on this album, and his vocals are intense as anything. This album absolutely blew me away. I think I gave this like a 9 out of 10 or something, because it deserves a fucking 9 out of 10. It's proggy death metal. I really love it. I love the angelic vocals. There are gothic elements throughout some of these songs. So many amazing songs. I really enjoyed the flow of the album as well. It didn't feel like an hour and 12 minutes. A lot of people complaining about the length of this album. Well, I loved it. I thought it was a perfect length, especially for this album. Soundtrack of My Last Day, absolutely magnificent song. Pray for Fire, so many good songs off this album. Very coherent, love the lyrics. Love it sonically. What more can you want from Ocean to Slumber? Their best album. Alright, here we go. Coming at number 2 is Marche Funebre and the album Einderlicht. I bet you nobody expected this. Well, I didn't expect this. I had my list done. Last week until I had to kick out Carnation. I had to kick out Carnation to put this album in, because this album is something very special. It really is. This is going to be in my best metal albums of the year, no doubt, because it's a very different album. If you like black metal, death doom, at times even funeral doom, and even classic doom, you're going to love Marche Funebre. I really enjoyed it. Scarred is absolutely amazing. Just imagine My Dying Bride mixed with Swallow the Sun mixed with Candlemass. The vocals are absolutely amazing on this album. He incorporates clean vocals, incorporates heavy metal vocals as well, then incorporates growls, deep demonic growls, blackened metal screams, shrieks. It's absolutely incredible. Deformed is absolutely amazing song. I just love the melodies of some of these songs. They are so beautiful. There are some acoustic moments. It's just an awesome album, stretching around about an hour long with songs up to 10 to 12 minutes. There's just so much happening, and I just love the atmosphere of this album. This was going to be my number one. Instead, one album edged it, and the reason why one album edged it is because I love that band. But Marche Funebre is just an absolutely fantastic fucking album. And there is just so much happening on this record that you have to hear it to believe it. Because there are elements of classic heavy metal on this album, especially some of these riffs, and even some black metal riffs as well, with the tremolo pickings, and even heavy, sludgy doom metal riffs. This album is... well, yeah, I probably will review this album. But I was so impressed with this. And that's why it's coming at number 2. Hey, I bet you've realized that there's no worst albums of the month. Just because I haven't heard any bad albums this month, every album I've heard has just been solid. And now we go on to number one metal album of September. And it's probably no surprise for a lot of people, it's The Ocean and the album Phanerozoic II, Mesozoic, Caesazoic. Wow, okay, this album is absolutely fantastic. It really is. Although it's not as good as Phanerozoic I, it's just a beautiful conclusion to this 2-part concept album. This is a concept album talking about the geological eras of Earth. It's so damn good. Absolutely love the song Jurassic featuring Jonas Rensky from Catatonia. This is a much more proggier album than Phanerozoic I. There are so many different surprises along the way. There really is. It's very atmospheric as well. And my god, it's got some strong fucking Tool vibes. And just reminds you of bands such as Tool, Riverside, Opeth, and even Leprous. Some of these songs, like Pilocene, a very heavy song. Pilocene, an amazing song as well. Pleistocene, they incorporate black metal on this album. Black fucking metal. Incredible album. Oh, The Ocean, Phanerozoic II, Mesozoic, Caesazoic is my favorite metal album of September. I absolutely adored it. Already I've played this album so many times. I was so damn impressed with it. So guys, that's where I leave you for the best metal albums of September. Let me know in the comments your favorite metal album of September. Keep the discussion going in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.